about to walk them things. I'm begging, baby. I'm begging, don't go, baby. No, no, no. I've apologized, but you keep going on. It's a proud to say it. I admit I was wrong. Stop playing when we come back home. Why you wanna fight with me, baby? Why you wanna fight? Why did you rather make love tonight? Sweet love. Tell me why you wanna fight with me, baby. Why you wanna fight? Let me show you I can make it right. Oh, 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 oh. Just run into my arms. I should. Play with all your friends. Yes, I will. Oh, I do it for us, 'cause enough is enough. We can work this out. Don't say that it's new. You may hate me now, but I never stop.
All right. Welcome to the Urban Heat. R&B Talk. Yeah, we don't want to fight, baby. No fighting this morning. Let's make love. How about that? Good morning, y'all. Welcome to R&B Talk.
Good morning.
On a Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning.
We got Coach La in the building. We got Eric Jones in the building. Of course, the beautiful Sataris is in the building. And this is her first time hearing this song. And I said to her, like, listen.
Yes.
I said, listen, you got to tune in to R&B Vibes. We here every day.
Loving
Tuesday's
it.
the only day we interrupt the R&B Vibes. But, you know, rest of the week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 1 o'clock, R&B Vibes right here. And let's see, what's this message here I got? We're having trouble streaming. Oh, Instagram. Okay. All right. So I'm going to fix the, what is going on with Instagram? We're having trouble. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to fix that, y'all. Enjoy the sounds. Give me 1 sec.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Why you wanna fight with me? baby, just me and you. Ladies and gentlemen,
All right, y'all. I almost don't want to interrupt them sounds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
They sound good.
Oh, man. Welcome to R&B Talk on a Tuesday. My name is Steve Gooseby.
Eric Jones.
Eric Jones.
Good morning, y'all.
That's
Good
right.
morning,
Introduce yourselves.
Coach La La La.
And your girl, Tari.
All right, all right. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good.
I'm
All right.
feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and excited and warm and fuzzy and motivated and yeah, all that.
So we're going to talk about dating and relationships. But before we get into that, I want to talk about Serendipity A La Mode. It's the countdown to Serendipity A La Mode. It's this Saturday. Eric, you went last year. Turn that volume down, Coach. You know better. So E, you was there last year.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience.
Oh my goodness, man. It was like I really felt like I was at like a red carpet event because, you know, there was like so many people there, like different nationalities. The vibe was good, positive energy throughout the entire event. Everyone looked great. You know, there was, you know, so many guys had like different styles of like outfits. The same for the women. They had different styles of outfits. I mean, it was just a good time all the way across the board. Like I almost felt like I wasn't even in Boston.
Wow.
I felt like I was somewhere else because there were so many faces that, you know, there were some faces that were very familiar, you know, friends of mine, but there were a lot of people that were there that I didn't know, that I just never seen before. But it was a great event. I mean, it was definitely a must attend event.
I remember talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Man, I think you must have talked about it for like 3-4 months.
Yeah, I mean, the event,
like Goose, you should have been there. You know,
I mean, the event was just that great because, you know, especially at this age, 50 plus, you know, we want to go to events where we can go to the event, you know, connect with some folks, network if we want to, and just have positive vibes throughout the entire event. Like I don't want, I don't want to go anywhere where people are fighting because this person looked at that person wrong.
Right.
Yeah, so there was none of that going on.
Coach La, you was there? You went last year?
No, it actually fell on my son's birthday last year, but I'm going this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be in the building this year as well. And so Taurus will be there for the first time.
First time. And I'm
you know,
so excited.
I'm really looking forward to it just from having Danger and Robbie on last week and Wanda just give all the information about it, man. It's like, you know, how could you not want to go? And got a quick phone call here. Good morning. Welcome to the Urban Heat.
Peace. Top of the morning. It's Danger. What's good?
What's
fam?
going
How y'all
on?
feeling?
Hey, what's good? You right on time, man, because we talking serendipity, of course, you know?
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing the serendipity talk. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all got all my fam up in there.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah. Well,
What's good, Dan?
Steve Goose, you fam. You fam. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Fly,
Yep. I'm in the building too. Can't
Tari.
wait.
Hey.
Kari's up in there.
That's
DJ,
right.
EJ Spin. What it do?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Dan.
So
So,
Dane, let me ask you.
uh-huh.
So let me ask you. This is the weekend, man, of Serendipity A La Mode, man. Where do things stand at this point? I mean, the expectations are so high. I know you got to be excited too, man. Talk to me about where things are today with Serendipity.
I'm super excited. I'm actually chilling, taking the rest of the week off. You know, we're doing the back end and all the planning and all that good stuff. We got a lot of good surprises, and we really want. So last year was, I'm kind of picky when it comes to events. I really enjoyed last year, and we want to keep it on that same playing field, but you know, up it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of surprises coming up. We want more activity, interaction. We got some cool stuff with, you know, your phones. We don't want people to be on their phones, but we want you to be on your phone to interact. We got some cool stuff cooking. You know what I mean?
Okay. And, you know, when you say surprises, man, I know it's something big, man. I just know it's something big. And the fact that you mentioned that last week when we had you on, you talked about Idris being a possibility, but he's working, so he couldn't make it. So when you start talking about people on that level,
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you got a huge surprise for the people.
Mhm.
So yeah, and even to take
He's
it
so
back a
cool
little
about
bit,
it. He's
because-
like, yeah, so yeah.
But Dane,
Yeah, you know.
Dane's
So,
always,
yeah.
but Dane's always been like this from day one. When I met him back in high school, he's always been the same way.
You know, that was
Cool
such,
and laid back.
you know what I mean? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, Idris. Well, he couldn't make it, but we got somebody else for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dope.
Like,
exactly.
yeah, you know,
Love
something
it.
like that. Something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because the thing is like this. Everybody does, they do what they do for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go back just because we touched on this a little bit because of Halloween. You know what I'm saying, like you take Busta Rhymes. He actually is a really big artist. He's a big artist to me, and to be able to bring Busta Rhymes to the hood, to the Russell Auditorium, across the street from the projects, that was like kind of like a big thing to some people. You
That
know
was
what
a
I'm
big deal.
Yeah, and because of that, I wouldn't say we almost oversold because the venue was still letting people in beyond our control. So many people wanted they were buying tickets online. We had to refund them. It was kind of like, I don't like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I like exclusivity, and I like it to be about the event and not just the artist. The artists are great, you know what I'm saying, but I would like us to be able to bring in big artists, and it's not all about the artist. Because now if I was to bring, let's just say if we were to bring Beyonce to this event, although we are not, you know what I'm saying, it'd be like insane because people would be flying out of town and they're saying, I'm going to go see Beyonce. We want people to say, we're coming to Serendipity, you know what I mean? And you don't know what's going to be there. We got the ticket at a low price. And like you take Silk, last year they came and they chilled. They was vibing with everybody, taking photos. And we can't promise that to everybody. But also, if you got 1,000 people in there, that's too much. We want to have like maybe 300 to 400 people come, and it's that. You know what I'm saying? Like once the tickets are sold out, they're sold out and comfortable. Because just me, I'm not a fan of crowds. You guys know that. I'm a firefighter, and so many things go wrong when it's too many people in the building. You know what I mean? And I like this, and so this is what we're trying to go after. Like dope surprises. You feel like, because Eric said that, he's like, he felt like he was somewhere else. And I think that more event planners and promoters should create those type of vibes because I want to attend too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I told, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I told Dane last year, I called him the next day. I was like, yo, you guys got to do that again next year. Yeah. I said, you can't just give us that, tease us with that and not make that an annual thing. So kudos to D-Nice, Seth Lowe, and Danger for putting that back together again.
Don't forget about Robbie
and Robbie.
That's right. Good biz.
Yeah.
Good biz.
And I have to say, 300 to 400 people ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's still a pretty big crowd, Danger.
Yeah.
You made that seem like that was a little bit of people.
Well,
that's a good crowd, but to see all those people dressed to the point and the different outfits, just the whole atmosphere, I haven't been to one yet, but I'll be there this year. Of course.
Definitely gives Black excellence, and just the vibrantness of all the shades of Blackness and the melanin. Like it was really just a beautiful event. Seeing Black people with colors on, it just makes me smile.
I know, it makes me smile too.
Right. Well, guess what, folks? For those that are listening, I don't know how we came up with a ticket, but we got a ticket, at least one ticket to give away. But you got to hang with us to the end of the show.
You got to give a pair at least.
Well, listen, we got one. We got one. You want to give up yours?
Heck no. I'm going by myself to see what I can find. We're about to be talking about that next.
We're going to be together.
Okay.
Oh, no, we're not going to be together. We're going to be amongst one another.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's the perfect segue. We're going to get into the dating talk. Hey, Danger, thank you, man. We're going to continue to talk about this serendipity. And I would like to have you back the following Tuesday or maybe the Tuesday after that, man, to talk about the event. You know, so
definitely. I would love to.
All right, we appreciate you, man.
Okay. I can't wait to see all y'all Saturday. We're going to have a blast.
Yes,
Okay?
we are.
My drink is, meet me at the bar. We're doing shots of tequila. Turn up.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Shots.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
y'all
it.
enjoy, fam.
Appreciate
Good
you,
day,
man.
Dange.
Have a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
That's Danger from 9 Alarms, y'all. Serendipity A La Mode this Saturday. Don't miss it. Get your ticket if you ain't got it already. And so, you know, Coach La just said it. She can't wait to go just to see what she gonna meet.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're talking about MEET.
Yes.
Not the other one. But
That's too funny.
So you know what?
If the listeners weren't awake before, they're awake now.
Hey, listen. So let's get into it. The lady said they wanted to talk about dating and relationships, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about that. I don't have a script. I don't have any questions. I just want to keep it as authentic as we can. I don't have anything prepared.
Okay.
Normally, you said in the beginning, about time we got some balance.
Yes, there's some balance.
There's some balance here.
Right.
So I want to spend at least a great portion of the morning just listening to you all, maybe responding to some of the things. So whatever's on your mind, let's talk about it, you know?
Well, I say balance to start there. There's been a couple of these R&B talks about relationship thus far.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the listeners saying, well, why don't you have some people who have some healthy relationships, or there's nobody in a relationship, or people are not married, so how can they speak on it? But I think this is a pretty balanced dynamic. We got, you know, people who are formerly married, people that are in relationships, people who are dating. I think we got a little mix. You know, there's finally 2 men, 2 women.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So that's balance. And me and Tari don't share all the same opinions. I don't know about you and EJ, but you know, we got differences of opinions on different things. So hopefully this will be juicy.
Yeah.
Can I add one other thing? So how this came about, if you guys remember, there was a show we did back in December, and it was like, all I want for Christmas is a good man.
Yeah, I remember that.
Y'all might remember that show.
Yeah.
Coach La was one of the people on the show. You might remember that there was a slight challenge or call to action for us women, especially, to be more open-minded to approaching men, because supposedly men like to be approached. And also being willing to accept advances. We kind of came to the conclusion that sometimes we could be standoffish or sort of like nip dudes that may not be our type at the knees without giving them a fair shot. So Coach got updates, baby.
You know, I've always been like that.
Well,
even back in the day.
Yes,
I
cut men off at the knees?
No. When I see something I like, I don't wait. I approach myself.
So how do you do that?
I just
you go for the kill.
You just go in and be like, I like you?
No, I just go in and I just say hi, strike a conversation with him.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do too.
Okay.
So we agreed. I don't know if the other ladies did it, but I actually agreed to have more conversation, be more social, and go out for fun and not just work. If anybody knows me, I do a lot of hosting, a lot of events, but it's typically just work and I'm in the zone. So I've had several dates, several encounters since December.
Good for you.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get into some of that, but that's how this happened. If y'all are wondering what manifested this, that's the backstory.
Well, let's talk about it. You don't have to say names or tell the, give us some.
I would say from December, I just was more open to meeting people and going to events that I wouldn't typically go to. And just, like Tari said, striking a conversation. If a man looked at me, I looked at him back. If you look me up and down, I'm like, you like something over here? I see you looking me up and down. I just got a little bit more flirtatious, a little bit more flirtatious, a little bit more open. And it was nice. I've been getting lots of
since
activity.
Since December, how many dates?
How many dates or how many gentlemen?
Okay, how
Probably
many?
About 7.
7, okay.
Since December?
Yeah, 7 like
in what
interactions with men.
And what were the main issues that
No, let's not go to the issues yet.
Okay.
Let's stay in the fun part.
All right.
Because I
It's
think
your
there's
show.
no, it's not. It's our show.
Okay, it's our show, but I want to hear from you.
But I think we should start with the whole idea of what is dating, because that came up, right? Like the stages to this. So I think a lot of this is talking, right? Like, so you exchange numbers, you text, so you talk on the phone. That's not necessarily dating. So I just want to clarify. Like,
that's just talking.
Educate me, because this is a new area for me.
That's talking.
Right. So. That's talking. That means you saw somebody you were interested enough to exchange numbers, but you may not have gone out and done anything yet.
Dating.
What other people think?
So what is dating?
Dating is, well, in my opinion, is when you're actually going out with somebody on a date, and you're talking to them.
Yeah,
you're talking to them, and you're going out.
Several of those, though, not just one.
You're hanging out together.
So you can go out. Okay, so you can go out with several people, and you're just dating.
So that's what I call I'm dating, but I'm not necessarily dating him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
Right.
So basically,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So basically, what Coach is saying is that she's, just dating several people, but she's not exclusively dating one person. So she's not like dedicating all of her time to one man. She's, basically just
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, trying to figure it out.
I call it
figure out the dating scene.
I call it a romantic networking experience.
I like that.
Okay.
A romantic networking experience. Right. Because these are men that I would be interested in sexually, or I find something attractive about them. I'm not just wanting to do business with them, although that happens sometimes. And I'm like, I'm trying to smash.
Well, for me,
potentially. So.
I want to date, but I
Go
also.
ahead, Steve wants to laugh.
hey, I'm all, like I said, I'm all ears. I'm all ears right now.
I try to keep business and pleasure separated as much as I can.
So what will happen is later on, Steve will say, "Yo, did you hear what Coach said earlier?"
Yes, he is. He was trying really hard not to say anything.
Let me say this too. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it this way, because I said this to Marv last week. There are other cameras here in the studio, which I think should be live all the time.
Oh no,
recorded, because some of the best conversations is when the mics are off, man.
Yes.
Well, that is true.
And we talk about so much
Everything.
stuff. I wish we could have captured on the airs for the people to hear.
Especially the
So-
last conversation we
Yeah, it
had
was
up
juicy.
in here.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. Even the conversation after we talked about the serendipity with danger, we was into some like, oh man, we should be talking about this on the air.
Y'all was
Right.
talking about politics and a bunch of stuff.
Oh man,
It was good.
All kinds of stuff, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll try and duplicate that somehow on the air with those topics. But let's not hold back on. Let's just have a conversation. Pretend these mics ain't on.
Well, I mean, yeah, y'all can jump in because I'm a talker, but I don't want y'all to feel like
I want to.
I'm dominating
I don't want to run
conversation
away
either.
from your dates. I want to know how the dates went.
Right. So I
And-
wanted to clarify dating, because talking on the phone is not necessarily considered dating.
Oh.
Right. I've met somebody interesting and I would like to spend more time with them. The challenge with being busy is that, if you attract another person that's of the same caliber, it can be difficult, sometimes to find time for quality time. So that's what I'm finding. If I would say that's one issue, some of the ones I really like are just as busy as me. And that's a challenge to make the time.
So you haven't slept with any of these dates? Or have you?
Of course, that's all you want to know, Steve.
Well, no, that's what someone
You're
asked.
just so nasty. Who asked that?
Someone asked that in the chat room.
No, they did not.
Tony Lopes asked that.
Tony Lopes, get out my
Tony.
business. Why
Tony's
you all in my?
married.
No, so Tony just wants to know.
No, he's asking the question.
No, Tony just wants to know because that's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, that's like, well,
Everybody wants to know.
Let's just dive
Who
into it.
is Coach giving it up to? The therapists need love too. That is the ongoing question, right?
Who's getting coached?
Listen, I'm about to listen. I'm about to pull a serendipity surprise. I'm not telling.
Well, I just want to dive right into this about with dating, and then when sex comes into it, and for me, I'm learning that a lot of men are more interested in having sex first before they commit to you.
I could get with that though, but the thing is, so I'm not sexual. So I'm not.
Why is that?
I'm not engaging in sex. Sex is off the table, but not off the table. So let me explain. I want to have sex, and I will have sex, but I need to be interested in you. People are doing things that make me not be attracted to them anymore. That, you know, and I can go down the list of some of the things that have happened, but the biggest one for me is communication. If you are already making my nervous system like feel uncomfortable, I don't feel safe with you, you're annoying, it turns off the sexual desire for me. So that's what I'm finding, right? Like, but dating and talking to multiple men, for those women that are not doing this, is really a great way to get to know yourself. If you go about this from the perspective of self-discovery, if you go about this from the perspective of really learning your boundaries and being able to articulate your boundaries, find out what different spirits, interests, vibes from men make you comfortable or uncomfortable, right? And you just sort of sit in that instead of always being in a place, does he like you? Do you like him? And why do you like him? What has he done that made you like him? Just simply because he had an interest, is that enough for you to give up the cookie, right? If that's the case, I would have had sex with all of these men and really quickly, and then found out later I don't like them. So you got to chill, right? You got to just relax for a little bit. And I think that's the hard part for some women that are craving attention. As soon as you get that I'm a beautiful, and you get that eye contact, and you get the first kiss and a date, it's like, yay, I haven't had this energy. And next thing you know, you let him smash, and it's a smash and dash. So just make sure you like him too. And it's not just a sexual thing, but if it is, just own it for sex. Don't think because you have sex that it's going to manifest to something else.
So
that's all I'm saying.
So I'm going to throw this out there, right? Because I feel like from a man's perspective, we pick up on things quick.
Okay.
We pick on, I feel like we do. I don't think I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like most men, including myself, I pick up on a lot of different things first. Energy. I can pick on sometimes whether you like me or not might be it can be confusing sometimes, but I feel like for men, that's easy. We can pick up on that real easy, but I feel like women have a difficult time with that, picking up on men's energy, whether they should move forward or if this is, you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah. But I think that's also because a lot of times I think men are used to going after us.
Yeah.
Right. And so your senses of like whether or not a woman likes you or not, I think are a little bit more keen, where most time women are waiting to be picked. So we don't really know, right? There's certain things we're looking for a man to do to know that we're being picked. But if he's doing that to multiple people, or he's inconsistent, right? Or he's just a flirtatious man, we're not going to be sure if you're serious or not serious. And then you also have to think about a lot of men say things out of their mouth that don't match their actions. And this is not every man. So again, we got to clarify. Some men's actions don't match what they say. So that throws a woman off too. Yeah. So versus you guys, you don't have that same problem. Like usually men are casting their nets wide anyway. Men are used to being hunters.
So at this stage of your life, both of your life, well, you're kind of new to it. You haven't dated in a long time, Sataris. Right. But Coach, at this stage in your life, do you feel like you have that down pack now, or you still struggle with that? Just
whether or not if a man likes me?
Yeah.
So I just ask now,
and not just that. Whether
so let me tell you. So let me answer your question. So I think the difference of the old younger coach versus the older mature coach, I'm also checking in with myself. So it's not just about whether or not you're coming for me. It's like, do I want him? Why do I want him? Yeah, you're cute, but what else do you got going on? You can't just look good and have some money. That ain't enough for me. So I'm also checking for that. So if my energy shifts, it's probably because the person did something that I don't like, but I'm more direct about it, and I will circle back and ask the question. But for most men, a lot of men are flirting with everything. I recently had that scenario where I told a gentleman, I was like, I would feel special if I didn't see you do that with so many other people right in front of my face. So it's just like, that's just who you are. You're just a flirtatious guy. Right. So it doesn't like float my boat right? It's not making.
So you know he ain't
So
it.
you don't feel like
so,
a priority.
So whatever
no,
you
not
do
even
from
a
that
priority.
point,
yeah,
not a priority, but you just love women. It's not beautiful women. That's just what you do. That's your thing. That's your part of your person. I don't want you to change, but for me, it's not arousing me to want to give you some, because now a guy that I know that doesn't normally do that I'm also attracted to, and then he does that, that's gonna do something different for me. Because I'm gonna be like, okay, we both crushing. This is this feels good. It feels hot and heavy. But if I see you doing it with everybody, I'm like, okay, I know I'm beautiful. She's beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. You like everything. Thank you.
Like,
I appreciate the compliment, but it's not gonna work for me.
So when that happened, did you have a conversation with this gentleman?
Yes, we actually talked about it. And it was a really good conversation. And what I don't want for anybody who's interested in me is to change who you are. I think that's what I found in most relationships, is that people morph or try to be something that they're not. And then as time goes on, your real person, your real self, what do you call that thing when people do? So y'all know what I'm talking about.
Take their mask off?
They take their mask off, and you now show other sides of you that they didn't know existed. And then you're wondering why it's not working. Well, that's not what you showed them in the beginning.
That happened to me, actually, not just dating, but also in my marriage. So he pretended to be something that he really wasn't. He thought that he needed to be a certain type in order for me to like really, be okay with him. But then after so many years of doing things and being someone that that is not you, he just exploded. So then the real him comes out. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, what's going on?
Can you give us an example? Like, maybe not getting into all of it, but like, how is he different?
Well, first of all, he used to.
I definitely would never.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
clarify.
yeah.
I never used the term all.
No,
I
no,
said,
no,
would you guys agree that it takes some men longer
no, no, no.
to mature?
No, no. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
There's some men like that I just can't hang around even at this age because they're not mature at their age.
Right.
And we're the
So it
same
sounds
age.
like you're validating what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The
I am.
possibility could be, although that was only a 4-year difference,
Yeah.
that he took a little bit longer
But
to
actually,
step into his man.
he was mature. That's why I chose him. He had some qualities and characteristics that the men.
So why would he let you leave when that's not the natural order of things?
I really don't know. I'm very headstrong. And eventually, as the years went on, he told me that I was too headstrong. And so that became an issue because I've been used to leading basically all my adult life. Yeah.
I feel like I also feel like there's some men that's out there that don't like a woman who's headstrong. That's too much of a challenge for them because now you're going to push them to be better. Sometimes
Thank you.
some men are just comfortable.
Just said the word.
Some men are just comfortable where they are. Like I'm always wanting more.
Yes, yes,
So if I'm with a woman who's going to push me to want more
yes,
and see some sort of talent in me
yes.
that I'm not, exercising, like I'm all for that. Like push me to be better.
You said the key word because that was the thing. I pushed him to be the best man that he could be. And I told him from day one, because his family said to me, my daughter was 2 months when we went down in North Carolina. And we're sitting at the table eating breakfast, and one of his cousins that he's real close with said that I turned him into a housewife. And I said, no, I didn't turn him into a housewife.
Was he sitting at the table?
Yeah.
Oh,
It just sounds so interesting though, because you started off with saying that he changed and he was different than what he was before. But it sounds like he's not enough. He might not have found his voice. I know you said he had a level of maturity, but I don't think anybody wants to be completely led all their life. They want to have a voice, even when they want a voice.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't have a lot. He didn't have too much voice with me, and when he did, it was already at his peak. But let me go back to being at that table. I told his family that I did not turn him into a housewife. What I did, I'm helping him to be the best father, best husband, best person that he can be. I wanted him to be a better man. I wanted him to um, learn how to take care of his daughter so that if something happened to me, he don't need to take her home to mom and to help out to raise her. So whatever I was able to do for our daughter, he was able to do the same thing. That's just what it was.
But I go back to like traditional relationships. I'm not sure if everybody can hear. We still haven't sounded it, but I think when we think about dating, when we think about why some people are single, why some people's marriages are still working, or why people get divorced, is always this to me. And again, speaking from my experience, there is the base, the bottom line of what are the roles and responsibilities and the expectations of each partner seem to always be a little off, right? In terms of what you thought a wife was supposed to do versus what your partner thought a wife was supposed to do. And sometimes those are so romanticized early on when you're younger.
We're good on the sound now, y'all.
We're good?
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but
they're romanticized that people don't really know what they're doing. Everybody's sort of doing trial and error or based on societal constructs that they've seen, a book they read, or maybe their parents. But for the most part, it seems like most people really don't know what they're doing when they go into these relationships, especially when they go in early.
Well, you're learning. You're learning as you go.
Right.
And these are conversations that your parents or aunts and uncles, they don't have these conversations with you.
I don't think so. I know my mother was like, okay, Be mindful of a man bringing clothes to your house, leaving a toothbrush. He's trying to move in on you. But if you're dating him and this is your man, like what's wrong with that? And how do you navigate that if that is happening? How do you have that conversation without making him feel like you don't want him to be there? They didn't teach you that part.
Right. Yeah.
They just was like, don't let him do that. So I remember being like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving the toothbrush here? You trying to move in?
Yeah.
So I'm like all assertive and aggressive. And, I'm leery, like, oh, you trying to move in on me? The guy's like, I'm always over here. I'm just leaving the toothbrush. Like, relax. I'm like, take your toothbrush with you. You can't live here.
All right. Let's get to the good stuff now. Yeah, I ain't heard nothing. Y'all ain't said nothing yet.
Well,
I have a question from Tasha Darling. She says, "What does commitment look like to you?"
Are you asking me and E?
Yes.
You want to go first, E?
Is that only for the men?
It don't matter.
All of us.
Well, all of us, I guess.
Okay.
She didn't specify.
What does commitment look like? It all depends. First, you gotta at least know that you like the person. If you like the person, then commitment means that you're going to do things that you normally would not do for someone that you're not committed to. You don't mind doing things. You don't mind spending the money. You don't mind opening up and talking about those things where if that's your person, you can share whatever's on your mind with them. And I think that's all part of it. And
that seems very generalized.
I know,
but I think what I'm thinking she's getting to is like in a relationship, and I think because there's so many different types of relationship dynamics, I think Steve's right. You have to have a conversation because some are open relationships, some you're dating exclusively, and it goes back to what is the understanding and expectation of what we're doing. And I don't think we always want to do that because it takes some of the fun and spontaneity out of it by breaking everything down. So we're dating. I'm not dating you exclusively. We may have sex, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to keep having sex. Like everybody doesn't want to necessarily lay it out.
You have to have that conversation. Most people don't have the conversation.
No, but I think that's where the commitment comes in at is like, what's going on? So right now we're just talking. And even in that, should you call every day? Do you pick up every time they call? What happens when you don't respond for a whole day? There's people that really like, listen, you messed up the cadence of the communication. We've been kicking and talking and texting since we met, and then you ghost me. I put that in quotation marks.
I was ghost.
You ghost me because I didn't hear from you for 24 hours. But we're just talking. We have not made a commitment to each other yet. So there's these expectations around all these phases that people have in their head about what this means. Well, I thought you liked me because you were talking to me every day. I was bored. You got great conversation. That's it. This doesn't mean we're even going to go on a date. And so some women are like, we've been talking for 2 weeks. So when are we going to hang out? The guy's like, I don't know.
And the number one question, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Right.
You got to have that conversation.
But I thought men didn't like that question.
But no, wait a minute. Especially if you like the person.
Yeah.
If you like the person and you don't ask that question, what are we doing? You're going to get hurt.
And how many men get mad though when you ask that? So say you are hanging out, you didn't have sex, you've been chilling, and the woman's like,
that kind of tells you.
Right. No, that doesn't.
It should.
And then you go, what are we doing? And the guy goes, what do you mean? What do you think we're doing? What have we been doing? We've been hanging out. We're chilling. We're having a good time. And the woman goes, but what are we doing? Are we going any further than this? Like what's happening? And the guy goes, why you gotta mess things up? Wow. Everything's going real smooth. I'm enjoying your company, you're enjoying my company. Here you go with that. Yeah. Now y'all are gonna tell me that doesn't happen, but women,
I've heard that.
Does that or does that not happen?
Yes, but guess what? That clarifies it. It should clarify it for you.
It does.
And if you don't catch that, then that's on you.
And it might be too late by then, because guess what? Homegirl likes it. She liked the way you didn't slang the slang. She's feeling you. Yeah. And now all her hope just went right down the drain. And this is the start of the problem. This is the start of the emotional dysregulation.
Go ahead, E, because the
insecurities and all the crazy. So when she started acting crazy.
That's
what men say anyway.
Okay, let's circle back because I want to get into what commitment means to me.
Okay, all right.
Can I do that?
I thought we was
Yeah.
going to the juicy
Can-
stuff.
on,
It was just
Aaron.
starting
Can we
to get
take a
juicy.
brief pause for the cause?
Pause for
Go
the
on,
Okay,
cause.
Aaron.
okay, okay.
Beep beep.
So I mean, for me, I feel like just like Steve said, commitment is liking the person that you're with. You love the person that you're with.
Liking and love. Is
Yeah.
commitment. Okay.
No. That's just a piece of it. That's not the whole thing.
Okay.
Like if I'm in a committed relationship, which I am now, it's like I'm willing to do things for my person that I normally wouldn't do for
others.
someone that I'm not committed to. So, for instance, it's like, I'll just use this as a quick example. Like, my lady had a flat tire over the weekend, and she had to call AAA. So, even though AAA came to her house, I still went out there to make sure that everything was good. Now, someone that I'm not committed to, I'm not going to do that. I'd just be like, listen, call AAA.
Call AAA.
Call AAA. You know what I'm saying? Give me a call later when everything's all set. But me being me and being committed in the relationship, I'm going to go out there and make sure that everything is all good.
Right.
With the, with the tire, and make sure everything's all set and ready to go. But, it's so much more than that as well, as far as like the commitment piece goes. I just feel like being in a committed relationship, you're willing to go above and beyond
Exactly.
to make sure that the person that you're with is happy.
It's good.
They feel secure. They feel safe with you. They can talk to you about anything. You can talk to them about anything. You don't have to worry about it getting thrown back up in your face. So there's so many different layers when it comes to commitment. I mean, those are just some, but there's just so much more to it as well.
Now, the problem with some women when it comes to that too, they don't understand or see that, oh, he's just too. They take it as, oh, he'll do anything for me, which he will, but you have to reciprocate it, not to the point where, a tit for tat, you know what I'm saying? But you have to show that man that you have eyes for him too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if it's one-sided, that ain't gonna work.
No,
it's not gonna work. If it's one-sided and he's just going above and beyond all the time, and I mean that's a relationship where it's just not gonna work.
No.
But don't you think there's often an imbalance that is typically how it starts, is that men are doing above and beyond to get the woman because they're hunting?
Yep. And most women
will receive.
They'll receive it, but they don't give anything back.
But
and then when the man is gone, oh my God, they miss him.
Yeah.
And they want to circle back, but he undid that already and it's played out with him. So he ain't gonna do it for you no more. He's gonna do it for the next person.
Do it for the next person.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of part of it, right? Is there's some women that will reciprocate and be doing all of that in the beginning, just like the guy. And like you just said, when you ask, what are we doing? She gets, what do you mean what we're doing? And it never manifests into a relationship or anything serious for her. And I think we all are taking risk when we go into these relationships of what it's going to be. If you want to be organic and just go with the flow, there's a possibility that you're going to get your heart broken or do too much, and it may not go anywhere.
So I'll add this to that, and you mentioned it earlier, communication. Communication is definitely, when it comes to things that are important in relationship, that's on one hand. That's one of those things, communication. And, it was funny because last week, Dane and Robbie told a story. It was hilarious. I go back and I watch it and I'm just laughing my tail off. But had they not communicated, those two may not have even been together. You know what I'm saying? Because communication, you have to talk about. If you don't ask those questions, if something's bothering you and it's on your mind about the relationship, you don't inquire about it, then that's going to be on you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to ask those questions.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes women are afraid to ask because they don't want to get the answer that they think they might get. And I say to hell with it. you know,
that's where I'm at.
If
that's
it ain't,
exactly right where I'm at.
If the relationship ain't where you want it to be and ain't gonna go where you want it to be, then get the hell out of it quick. On to the next.
I agree.
You know,
and I think that's the difference between, I would say, the younger version of myself and this version.
Right.
And I think men are ahead of us in that with rejection and getting a no and having to go next, meet a lady, take her out, even have sex with her and be like, yeah, nah, she's not going to work. I think men have a lot more practice in a lot of ways doing that and recovering than women. I think often some women, not all, have been in long relationships, right? Or when they met somebody, they got wifed up real quick, so they don't have a lot of practice.
Yeah, that's
in that arena.
So I want to say this to Tari because you're new to this world now.
Yeah.
And before I ask you that question, I'm gonna take this phone call here and see who this is. Hello, welcome to the Urban Heat. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call. It's Wanda Hollingsworth, the dating coach. How are you?
Hi, Wanda.
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, I just wanted to piggyback. Coach is dropping some nuggets up there, as well as communication. Steve Gooseby, you said it. I just wanted to add that a lot of people lack accountability, self-awareness, and self-reflection.
That's right.
Before we go out there and date, we have to know what it is we want. We have to have our set boundaries and expectations, and don't sacrifice them for the risk. And I think people really show you who they are in the beginning if you would just have that conversation with them. What's happening now is that people are skipping the vetting process.
That part.
We're meeting people, we're exchanging phone numbers, and then are you available Saturday for dinner? And we go on that date without vetting. Conversations will tell you a lot about an individual and what they're expecting from you. Mm-hmm. We ignore the yellow and red flags a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Some people are repetitive relationship people. They don't know how to just sit still. They jump from one relationship to the next relationship. And there's I think a school of thought that you need a lot of time to process a relationship. You need to take, I don't really look at it like that. I think if you've done the work, you reflected on, like Wanda's saying, taking accountability on what you did, why it ended, and you really have done the work, I think you can move on. But for a lot of people, they don't pause long enough to even do that. They just immediately, yep, I'm over that. Doesn't matter. Yep, I'm good. Deuces, it didn't work. And then on to the next. And they don't really take that pause to go, what did I learn about myself? What did I learn about the other person? And what I want to use the word damage because I can't think of enough. What damage, what wounding has this left on me? Right? Most people don't even do that. They just move on and think that they're good until they find themselves in a similar situation over and over and over again. Relationships are beautiful things, but they're sacrifices. They're inconvenient. They require commitment. They require accountability, communication. And some people really struggle, and consistent people struggle with that. They can't maintain it for a long period of time.
Right. Yeah. And I want to say to you, Sataris, because you're new to the dating world right now. Yeah. And I'm just saying personally, just from conversations, you ain't ready. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Yeah. You are not ready.
Why you say that?
You are not ready. We've had.
It's a totally different world out there.
Yeah, we've had the conversations.
Yeah, because I have conversations with people all the time, and like a lot of the horror stories that I hear, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, if I wasn't where I was, we'll get into some of my actual details. These things could have made me doubt who I am. It could have made me be like, I'm throwing in the towel, all men suck, there's pee and poop in the dating pool. There's not pee and poop in the dating pool, right? Let me rephrase that. Of course there's pee and poop in the dating pool, but there's a bunch of other stuff in there too, right? It's just, you have to be mindful, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself. I'm both a light and a mirror. I'm going to attract everything. What I choose to entertain is different. Not to mention, everybody who comes in contact with me is going to be a reflection back on them too, on who they are. Not everybody's ready to meet that person. Not everybody's ready to do the work on themselves.
Not everybody's ready, period.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm in this position now at this age that yes, I'm willing to work with a person who's willing to work with me, but I'm also not willing to go in and be trying to train a person and they feel like a client. And that's what I'm getting as a therapist is often people like, oh, you're doing therapy on me. You're psychoanalyzing me. No, I'm trying to have a conversation and get to know who you are, what you want, how you think, how you move to see if we're compatible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be difficult for you, I think.
What would be difficult?
Because you are a therapist.
Which part is difficult?
I think being with meeting a person, right, who knows you're a therapist and having a conversation without him thinking
that you're trying to be his therapist.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think what you have to do, you have to let your guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my guard's down. My guard be down.
I don't know.
So here's the thing. I've gone back and forth when they ask me what do I do, and this goes back to transparency.
Right.
If I'm out the gate hiding a piece of myself so that you will feel more comfortable and you won't feel like I'm doing, that's already a yellow flag. If I can't say, that's already a yellow flag. Secondly, if that's how you feel, either you've probably been told you need therapy or you have a therapist, so you know some of the questions that I'm saying make you reflect. Most people are not having conversations. It's surface as hell. It's very surface. No one's asking what are your future goals and what do you aspire to do? What do you like? What do you not like? And I don't ask it just like that, but just being able to listen to what people say and ask them a follow-up question. Most people jump to the next topic or talk about themselves.
So I'm gonna jump back to what I was saying. For you, the conversation has to be natural. It has to be a natural conversation. No, I'm serious. It has to be a natural, because anybody you date that knows that you're a therapist.
You want to do a social experiment? You want to date me and find out?
I already know.
Because it's an assumption. It's an assumption that you're making. You know me in this setting.
Yeah.
Right. And that's also part of it, is being open-minded enough to know that there's different elements to all of us.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The feminine, sexy coach, flirtatious coach, you don't get, because I'm not dating you.
Right.
So I know how to navigate the question.
Okay.
The point that I'm saying is that a lot of men, and we talked about this offline, don't know what they're doing. They're socially awkward. They have poor communication skills and they're not ready. Nobody wants to talk about that part.
No one.
So what do you say, Steve?
Say that again?
Eric, response.
Well, I mean, that's where, as you talked about earlier, going on several dates, that's where the several dates piece comes in. Because after, date number one, of course, was great. We finally connected, was able to go out. But usually after, I'd say, the third or fourth date, you should kind of know what you're dealing with.
By that time people are having sex.
No, but I'm just saying, if that's
not necessarily.
Exactly.
But I'm saying traditionally, guys, y'all said y'all want to get to the nitty gritty of it.
Let's
the reality of it is that most people and men, right, are asking. Y'all ask me that. So how many of you did you sleep with? When we don't want to deal with what's really at the basis of this, is that people want to get laid. Men like sex, women like sex.
They want to stick.
If I find out that I like you, right? I like you. You haven't turned me off. People are sexually attracted typically when they're interested. Usually, right? Am I wrong? Or y'all can tell me I'm wrong, but usually if you're going up to a woman, her aura, her vibe, something has made you attracted to her. And it's not because you want to know about her brain. You like the way her body looks. You see yourself having sex with her. If nobody wants to admit that, I will. I raise my hand if I'm sure. If I'm not looking at you like that, then that means we're probably going to do business and be friends.
Yeah. Well, the key behind all of that, again, communication.
Yeah.
You got to have a conversation. And if you're not comfortable with something, then you better talk about it. You better bring it up. I just think a lot of people avoid certain conversations. They have the sex and then it's too late. You done gave it up. And
absolutely,
you realize you don't like him, or he realizes he don't like you like that.
Yeah.
So
And then you're right back to square one all over again.
When you take sex off the table, what do you have to talk about?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you have in common? Somebody, I was watching something. She said, I don't think a first date should be dinner. She said it should be something under $50, maybe coffee, tea, go for a walk. Do something where you can actually get to know one another.
Right.
I say whatever makes you comfortable.
Yep.
I don't think there's no rule. There should be no rule to the game. Just whatever works for you and work for that person. Just go ahead and do whatever you.
But I go back
to
if we're basing dating, that most of us are basing this on social constructs, what we've been taught by other men, and just our lived experience. Right? Mm-hmm. Most men have been taught wine and dine a woman, give her nice things. I was at TK Kirkland's show. That's what he was schooling all the men. Now, whether or not he was joking or he was real, men have been taught that that's what they're supposed to do. Most women have been taught to be demure, don't say too much, be pretty, give him peace, right? You give it up to the one that's doing you nice things for you and taking care of you. That's the one that's deserving of the cookie. Now, if y'all don't want to admit these things, let's just say that. But the reality of it is we're all socially taught.
Yes.
You know, by our values and our beliefs, what we learned in our parents.
For me,
I have done a lot of research around dating, and what I have found is that men size women up in seconds, and they do this is they by the way you sit, by the way you hold your drink, by the way you carry yourself. Men know where they have to put in the work, and men know where it's easily when they can easily manipulate women. Men know these things, and they automatically put you in a bucket when they see you. Now, that science may not always be true, but it has worked for them for years. They can size you up in a minute. Wow. I have been in room with beautiful women, and I have done this social experience. I have been sitting beside a beautiful woman, and a man will go to that woman instead of me. And I would follow up and ask them why. And they would say, she was easier. I didn't have to work hard for her.
Wow.
And they knew that. They knew she was easier to deal with.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Know?
Some people have a look about them. Well, some people have a look about them.
We as men, we know.
Where they're approachable. And then other people don't have so much of an approachable
look. So can I break it down for you now?
Go ahead.
So we didn't put that on the table. One does not lie. And what Steve is saying is true. I told you I've been doing this as a social experiment. Mm-hmm. More softer face, not talking as much, a bunch of smiles and flirtatious. I've been getting way more dates, way more approaches, right? The loud coach, friendly coach in everybody's face.
No.
They don't want to be bothered with that. Oh. So there's a lot of truth to what she's saying. Now, the reality of it is at some point that coach comes out, right? And it's consistent. When they see I do radio and I got all these events and all of that stuff, a lot of men are like, yeah, I don't really want to rock with that. You know, you're outside too much. Now, this is the reality. Steve said, what are some of the issues, right? What are some of the issues? And so they said, well, why wouldn't you just change who you are, coach? So you can have a man. You know, you're going to have to tone that down if you get a man. Steve, you need to, be more vulnerable. And what did you tell me just to do in my conversation, Steve? So that would work. What did you just say?
You gotta let your guard down.
Let my guard down.
Not to the point where you allow yourself to be abused, but you gotta soften up.
Be softer. Right.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
what's wrong with that?
What are they doing?
We want soft women.
So what I'm trying to express, clinical side coming out again. You said your husband initially let you lead, that you're a very strong, independent woman. Now, some men would say you didn't pick up a beta, right? That personality type of man you attracted was not an alpha male. Alpha male wasn't going to let you do that to him right out the gate. Then at some point, your husband, now ex-husband, decided, I don't want to be a beta anymore. I want to be an alpha. You probably met a woman who made him feel like an alpha. So guess what? He don't want you no more because he didn't let you run his life. He don't want to be ran. He wants to do the running.
Well, I wanted him to take lead.
You would never. You can't have it both ways.
Well, I didn't ask.
Well,
he told me to,
and you should have said no.
I did not say.
You didn't say no.
I was,
and I gave Steve a clip.
We were only in our 20s.
Why should she have said no? Why?
Did I not just say they were young? I said the age had a factor.
We got married in our 20s.
I said they were young, and he needed to develop and grow. What you're willing to deal with at 20 is not what you want to necessarily deal with at 30 and 40 years old.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, y'all.
But why did you say, Steve, that I'm not ready? Why did you say that?
Well, one, you said you just started dating after 20 plus something years.
Right.
That's number one. And I think...
Well, ain't that a long enough time to process? Jesus.
But based on the conversation of your first date...
Yeah, but the dating game now is... The dating game now is just... It's totally different than when we were in our 20s. It's very different now.
You don't have to tell your story, but you told me off mic.
Yeah.
And after hearing that story, I'm like, oh, hell no. You know what I mean? I'm like, you ain't ready. Oh, what?
Here's the other
wait, let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
I felt like, based on what you told me, if you had more experience in that game, that would have never happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I said you're not ready.
But she's never going to learn.
Something happened to her on a date that's a hell no for everybody.
Yeah.
That I ain't never heard. I've never heard a story like that before.
Yeah.
So
know of anyone that
he claimed that was
date.
normal. That's what people do today.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is why I recommend that dating be a self-discovery. I don't think that you're not ready. I think that you need to date and talk to men so that you can learn yourself again.
Yeah.
But you have to create some boundaries. Boundaries are for you. They're not for the other person.
Right.
Boundaries are for, if I don't feel comfortable in something, he makes me uncomfortable. I don't feel safe. I feel like I can't talk.
And she gonna be at Serendipity, y'all.
Or express myself.
Single at Serendipity.
That's a yellow flag for me. So that doesn't mean go and push the gas. Right? That means slow down. That means I'm not going to have sex with somebody that makes me feel this way. Even if he's coming on hot and heavy, I'm not going to go to his house when I know he wants to have sex with me and I don't feel comfortable. You got to create boundaries for yourself, which is necessary either way.
Yeah.
You're never going to get ready until you get ready.
Okay.
Well, you're around the right group.
I know. I'm appreciating this.
You're around the right group. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wanda, thanks for your call. We appreciate you. And we got.
Thank you, Wanda.
Me to come back. I know you asked me to be on the show in April, and I was going away, but I do like to circle back and revisit the invitation.
No doubt. I'll reach out to you for sure.
Okay.
Right.
Have a good day, Wanda.
Good day.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So I have a question for y'all. Do you think that the longer you're single, the more difficult it is for you to get in a relationship?
Not at all. Not at all.
The longer you're single.
Not at all.
No, I don't.
I think you're ready. You'll be ready.
Yeah, I think you're more ready because anything. First of all, time heals everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You think it heals without doing the work? Just simply think because time passes that people are, because I know a lot of people.
I think-
And some of it may still be there.
I think time is part of the work.
Yeah, no.
I just think time's not the only thing, because some people it's been years and they just gotten more miserable and more just resentful and apathetic.
Well, they haven't done the work with time.
Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't done the work.
Just
with
to clarify,
time.
because people are listening, right?
but-
So what is the work? What
Good
is
question.
The
What do
work-
y'all think the work is?
Well, one, you have to be able to look in the
the work?
mirror.
Acknowledgement.
You got, I was going to say accountability. You got to be able. There's this person I know right now. Man, she takes no accountability for nothing. And I told her, I'm like, you ever look in the goddamn mirror
Yeah.
and just say to yourself, it's just you in the mirror.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for you to talk to yourself in the mirror?
Been there.
And then,
Been there, done that.
I'm like, yeah.
So would you date yourself?
Oh, I would
Hell yeah.
definitely
Hell
date
yeah.
myself.
Y'all was so
Absolutely.
egotistical. Y'all said that so fast.
Hell yeah.
All y'all was like, yeah, I would date me.
I definitely would, for sure.
So what do you think?
Absolutely.
What do you think is your biggest relationship pet peeve, both for yourself and for someone else?
Somebody? Biggest pet peeve?
Yes.
Pet peeve for me.
Since y'all all would date yourselves.
Pet peeve for me.
I got to think about this one.
I'm not, I'll say this, and I'm just basing this off of a relationship I was in. I can't get with someone who allows others allow what people say and hear about themselves bother them. I can't get with somebody like that. There's some people. There's some folks, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just, a scenario I'm giving. Sometimes you have a person. There are people that, people talk. There's different circles and people talk and say stuff, and sometimes people like to bring that around you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get with that type of energy. I just can't.
So you mean gossiping?
Yeah, the gossiping, man. I can't do that, man. I just can't. And because what I've learned from it, right? Even professionally, right? Doing real estate. Once upon a time, folks would say, man, such and such is this, man. He didn't pay me, such and such and such. And I'm like, man, I never had that experience with that person. Mm-hmm. And the person they was talking about, I thought he was one of the most smartest and till this day still is one of the most smartest and brightest person in the game. But they had a negative experience with that person. I did. So I don't want to hear that. Like, okay, I understand your experience. And I say that because there are some folks who have a tendency to get around other people because they don't like a certain individual. And that's just me.
Yeah.
That's it's a huge pet peeve for me.
Yeah.
I'm not into the gossip. Man.
So gossiping. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would say my biggest pet peeve is like, and I've experienced this with someone before, just like talking about talking about so many different people, but you go above and beyond to hang out with these same folks. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like how you said earlier, like, your actions don't align with what you say.
Right.
So it's like, my thing is, if I don't like a person, I'm not going to deal with that person at all. You're not going to see me hugged up with them in a photo, hanging out at the park, them come by my house, I'm going by their house. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I'll say my hi and bye and just keep it moving. So when I see folks that do that, it's just like, are you really true to yourself? Because you were just dogging this person out just a few moments ago. But then when you see them, you're like, hey, girl, I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? So I'm looking at you like,
right.
Okay, like, right. Wait a minute. Just 10 minutes ago, you was bad-mouthing this person.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like a big pet peeve because that just shows me that you're not really true to the person that you really say that you are. Now, granted, there might be some things about someone that you might just speak about, like, I didn't like the way this person did this or that, or how they treat me. That's one thing. But to constantly dog someone out and want to be around those same folks and just like cater to them when you see them, nah, that doesn't fly with me.
So for me, I would have to say I don't like when people are more concerned about the status that they're on, and then they portray like they're this big person and trying to have things that other people may have. But then behind closed doors, you're not that big person. That's what I don't like. So they're not really being true to who they really are.
So there's a theme here of people that don't know who they are. Because all I hear is identity and all of this, right? Like insecurities and, they're venting to who they feel safe to, which would be their partners in this case. So you get a chance to see the good, the bad, the ugly of your partner. My pet peeve is accountability. I don't expect anyone to be perfect. Actually, I expect people to mess up. I expect you to trip up. I expect people to drop their mask. I expect people to put their best foot forward and not always get it right. I just expect it because that makes you human. But not being able to reflect on it and acknowledge it, because now that makes you not be right, because some people suffer from wanting to be right. And the worst thing is that they have to tell you that you was right or apologize.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I think I am more willing to deal with someone that probably would mess up more than once, as long as they were taking accountability and actually trying, and I could see that they were trying. Because some things are difficult to move through.
I got something interesting for us.
What's that?
How about we all tell a story?
Steve is just trying to get me to tell.
How about we all
to tell some stuff?
Nah, how about we all tell a story about a relationship? I don't know, that went sour or whatever. How about that? How about that?
Does it have to be a relationship? How about a just encounter?
Yeah, it could be an encounter.
Yeah. Okay. Who's going first?
Who want to go first? All right, I'll go first.
We're gonna flip a coin.
Yeah, it was your idea.
I'll tell a story, and I've told this story before. I don't think I told it on the air, but all right, so
dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, so I was talking to this person, right? And so she came by the crib, and
he's going real slow with it. He was like, yo,
by the crib.
All right, I'm gonna just tell the story. So she came by the crib, right? And I like a nice clean place, right? So then I noticed some hair on the floor. So there's some hair. So I vacuum it up, right? And then so when you come into my place, there's this long carpet that goes down the hall. Then I got a big carpet in the middle in the living room. And so I vacuumed it up. Then I saw some more. It's like, oh, where this hair coming from? Vacuum that up. Saw some more. Vacuum that up. I'm like,
Steve got OCD.
Oh, see, stop it. You telling the story. So I must have told you.
No. You did it.
So I go in the bathroom. It's in the damn bathroom. I'm like, hold up. I said, wait a minute. Is that your weave? I said, is that your weave?
Wow.
She denied it. She denied it. And I'm like, nah, that's your weave. I'm like, she's like, you must got OCD. I was like, you need it. and I'll stop it right there. She stayed for a little bit, but that was it.
Oh, geez.
That was it after that, man. I couldn't wait to get her out, man. I couldn't wait to get her out, man. But
I feel like all my stories are too fresh, and I don't know who's listening to me on the air.
All right, so you next, Coach. Tell your story.
I don't know. I can't tell these stories. It's too fresh. I gotta give it at least 3 months.
Come on now. Come on, go for it.
I'm trying to think of which one I can tell.
All right, while you think about it,
but sure, you've had 7.
Hey, it's been a lot. Okay, so you said tell them all.
Tell all of them.
No. So I was out at an event. I'm going to keep this as clear as I can. Out at an event, ran across somebody that I've seen in my many travels. Always thought he was really handsome, but never shot my shot. Remember I told you I was shooting shots, right? Mm-hmm. So we happened to make eye contact, and I was like, hey, how are you? You look good. He's like, yeah, you look good too. Wow, you look me up and down. I was like, okay, that's a signal. The look up and down is always a good thing. And then they scan you, look back and smile. Good thing. And then he mentioned that I smelled nice and gave me a nice hug. So that was all good signs. I was like, are you single? He was like, yeah. I was like, we should exchange numbers. He didn't have his phone, something to that extent. So we connected via
he didn't have his phone.
Yeah, because we were at an event. So my phone was dead. It was an issue with phone. So anyway, we ended up reconnecting. I had to remember his name. And find him on Facebook, and I inboxed him, and that's how we ended up exchanging numbers. Once my phone was charged, we went out. This is probably going to tell it. We went out to an establishment that he frequents, so people knew him there. We went out twice. I've left my glasses. Anybody that knows I'm very blind. I left my glasses, and it was late, and he was implying to follow him somewhere. Now, again, I told you I was the second date. Sounds like he thought he was gonna smash. I don't know, but that's kind of what it felt like. He also said, you know, how old are you again? I told him how old I was. He's like, you know what it is. I'm like, what does that mean?
What?
That I know what it is.
You know what it is.
Wow.
You know what it is, right?
Wow.
So I was like,
know what it is.
I was like, but yeah, it's not going to just work like that. And then he made some comments about me psychoanalyzing him, and I told him that turned off the vagina. I don't like those type of questions.
You said it like that?
Similar, probably close. Yeah. That wasn't an attractive statement to me. I remember I had a guy once, this is not a part of the story. He said, you would ruin a wet dream.
Oh,
isn't that such a harsh thing? But doesn't that lets you know you just turned him off, right? But yeah, shout out to him. That was probably one of my
just the fact that he even said that.
Yeah, he was like, you would ruin a wet dream.
Wow.
I was like, ouch. But anyway, so that's kind of the version of you turned the vagina off, the vajayjay. It's similar to a man telling you that you would ruin a wet dream. Yeah. So
I have a question.
Wait, let me finish my story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go home. Good night, whatever. So I text when I got home. Mind you, I told you I can't really see well. So I'm driving home. It's nighttime. My vision is impaired. I text and I say, you know what? I made it home safely. Good night. He reads the text. He doesn't say anything back. Of course, my first instinct is like, that was rude. You should say something back. But maybe, just maybe, something came up. You meant to respond. Also text the next day, good morning. I heard nothing. Crickets. A week later, I get a random text with a picture of the menu of the place that we went to. Yeah, you see your face. So I sent a question mark to the picture. Because why are you sending me a menu, right? I could assume that you're implying you want to see me, but it's been a whole week since you've said anything. I get a response that says, don't ask any questions, just be there.
Oh.
And that was.
And did you go?
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I didn't respond.
But did you go?
No.
Oh, okay.
I said no, and I did not respond.
Okay. All right. So that's an example of.
Now, was I right or wrong? Should I have continued the conversation?
No, if you would have, the reason why I asked you if you had gone, because if you had gone is like, see, you're ignoring the signs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of women do that. They ignore the signs. You see the signs about the type of person that person it is, and you're going to ignore it and then get mad later on when you get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Which goes back to Wanda's point about the vetting process and why I'm saying some people would get frustrated with this. Oh my God, there's pee in the dating pool and this is so frustrating. No, what it showed me is my nervous system is no longer impacted by these behaviors, that I can move on and go next and choose myself and be fine. Like, I'm telling you the story, but it's not bothering me like that. Like, I'm just like, well, thank you for showing me who you are kind of energy.
Yeah.
Versus all men are stupid. I mean, some of them are.
All right, E, your turn, man.
He went. Didn't he go?
No. No.
Let me look.
Go yet.
Let me see what you're going to say.
So I would say one of the encounters that I had was like back in like my I'd say like mid 20s. I met this young lady at a nightclub, and probably like a week after I met her, went to her house. Pretty young lady. And
a week after you met her?
Yeah, I went to her house like a week after I met her. So I go by her house, and we're sitting on the couch talking, whatever. And she was like, I'm gonna get ready to go take a shower. So I said, okay. I mean, I wasn't thinking of like leading into sex or anything like that. I'm just like, okay. I came by her house after work. She wants to freshen up, whatever. She takes a bottle of wine, puts a bottle of wine on the table in the living room with 2 wine glasses. And she was like, says something real cocky, like, oh, I know you're gonna be here when I get out the shower, because you're not going to leave all of this.
Mm.
I was like, okay, I'm going to show you better than I could tell you.
Mm.
Open up the wine, pour myself a glass, and I left.
Oh, wow.
Right? So then fast forward,
Mm.
I'm in now at this time, I'm like in my probably early 40s. I'm in Walmart and I see her.
Mm. Wow.
Right? I hadn't seen her
First time since.
First time since. She walks up. She was like, "Your name's Eric, right?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "Yeah." I said her name. She was like, "You know, you left out of my house. You know, you didn't say nothing to me. You just opened a bottle of wine and left." I said, "Well, you were saying, you know, basically tell me that you're so beautiful that I wasn't going to leave. That I was going to sit there and wait for you." I'm like, I didn't find that to be respectful, so I bounced. I said, "Listen, you have a great day.
Mm-hmm.
It was good seeing you. Take care of yourself," and kept it moving.
Wow.
Oh, you just wanted to shoot her ego down.
I didn't want to shoot it. I didn't want to shoot the ego down. It's just that
Men say that stuff to us all the time.
No. But this is the thing. For me, I don't know about any other man, but if a woman comes off and saying like, "Oh, you'll never leave me," or "You're not going nowhere," or "Look at me, I'm beautiful. You should be happy to have me," or whatever, that for me is a turnoff. It's a turnoff.
It's not just a turnoff
because the way that I take it is like, okay, I'm supposed to feel special because you exchanged numbers with me or we went out on a date. It's like, if we're gonna be liking and loving on one another, let that thing happen naturally. Because I'm not gonna come out cocky like, "Oh, I drive a BMW, so I'm the man, so you should be happy to be sitting in this passenger seat."
Once upon a time, you know, a beautiful woman was a beautiful woman. And a beautiful woman is still a beautiful woman to a man. But once upon a time, when we saw that, that was it. Because that's all we saw, right? But in 2026, you know, and I say that because times have changed, right? Whereas, you know, that ain't a big deal no more.
No.
You know what I mean? Getting the, you know what, is not a big deal no more. All of that is like a dime a dozen nowadays. So for one to believe that and to say that and to try and put that on you as if you never go nowhere or he ain't going nowhere, listen, you better wake up. That person needs to wake up, you know? And yeah, it's the same thing on both sides, but more so for men, because there's just so many beautiful women in the world, period. And it's a little different for women.
I think that's true.
There's you all have access as well, but for men, it's just so much more in terms of numbers. So it's like if one person turns a man down and they want to clown him, and he ain't bothered.
I agree.
He's not bothered.
I think that is definitely how I'm feeling too. But I think that's also, I think my point, I'll speak for myself. Penis is not like, I've done it before. Like, and just looking at you and you smiling and you smelling nice and having a little bit of conversation is not enough for me to want to lay down with you and have you on me.
Yes.
Like, I think that's the other piece. Like, you just taking me on a date and we talk and have a good conversation is not gonna necessarily seal the deal and make me want to take my clothes off.
Those days of you ain't gonna turn this down is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I think that's on both sides.
Yeah, it's turned down a lot on both sides. It's not, you know, nowadays it just takes so much more, because that's, to me, that's always been the easiest part. So take that out of the equation. It matters. Hell yeah, it matters. But take that out of the equation. There are other things that's more important before you even get to that, you know?
And I think
unless that's all you want, then you get it and you be out. But there's so much more to it nowadays.
But I think this is what's either breeding women to be celibate and they're not having sex at these older ages.
And I'm finding a lot of women are celibate, or they're at least saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you're finding men who are also saying that they're taking a minute. and they're taking it off the table, right? Because women,
I haven't
women,
heard
out
too
there
many
like
men,
that?
although I heard one.
I've never came across
I
one.
knew you was gonna go there.
no, but I heard 50,
Wow.
50 a couple of men have said they just taken a minute to not be in a relationship and just to be with themselves. Not that I don't think they're doing it because they don't want a woman or anything like that. But women leverage sex, and women also weaponize sex in relationships.
No doubt.
Too.
And
So
those women often lose. Show me one that has won with that.
Well, I think it's because of how society has set up sex.
You can't win. You can't win with that no more, ladies.
But until we reframe sex in a different way, then that's gonna always be what it is. We have to have more than just that. I think back in the day, shout out to my dad, I miss him a lot. He said, "Baby, it's easy. If you just want to have sex, it's everywhere. You're a beautiful woman. There's plenty of men
that's true
that'll give it to you in a heartbeat. But if you want a relationship, you got to slow down and let that man court you, aka vet him out." So I think when you were younger, and I know a lot of people don't like the good girl, bad girl. I don't want to say that because it sounds like if you have sex, you're bad. I just think if you're using that as your leverage to get a man, keep a man, it never works out. I think you need to have more than that. Which brings me to the book that Oh wait. This camera.
Yes, there you go.
Having good ain't enough. Oh, yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It's not. And same thing with penis. It's just not enough.
Having nice chocolate chip cookies ain't enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's just not enough.
I mean, you see so many beautiful actors that get cheated on.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, most beautiful.
that's just like the coach from the Celtics cheating on
Neil Long.
Neil Long.
Yeah.
Or men.
And I was just like, wow.
Halle Berry.
Exactly.
Or the men.
Jennifer Lopez.
The men who are taking care of these beautiful women, putting them up in these apartments, giving them black cards, and she's cheating on him with somebody who don't even have half as much as what he have.
Yeah.
These older men getting these younger girls and doing everything and all things, and she's out here running amok on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most times.
And then getting a baby so she can be all set for life.
Yeah.
Well, I know I want to be courted. That's what I want. Old school for me.
I just want reciprocal.
So let me say,
energy.
so let's talk about that. Let's get deep into that right there, because you want to be courted, and you just want it to be reciprocated, right?
Yeah,
and
can we have equal energy?
I think we all want the same things, right? But I think the problem is the communication isn't always where it should be.
I absolutely agree.
And that's one of the most important pieces. Again, you can count them all on one hand.
Yes, but can we talk about the different communication styles? Because maybe that's part of the issue. Do y'all know what they are?
No, I don't.
Okay, I didn't know there was styles of communication, but I thought communication was just saying what the hell you need to say.
Right, but everybody has a different style because of your upbringing and
okay.
Where
So
you
what are the styles?
Some people have a passive aggressive communication style, so they're not gonna necessarily say what they mean. They're gonna use sarcasm, or
that's not communications.
But it is. So communication is simply expression of feelings, emotions, and all of those type of things. We're communicating right now. Whether or not we comprehending each other is different, but we're all communicating, right? And certain styles, certain people are more receptive to and can get with. Some people can't stand a passive aggressive communicator. Don't use sarcasm. Don't jokey joke. Get to the point. Say what you mean what you say, right? Which is more an assertive person, right? And then you got aggressive people that are demanding. They're all in your face and all of those things. So I think that's part of it, is that certain communication styles can make you shut down. So like if you have somebody that's always aggressive, you may avoid saying certain things to them because you don't want to smoke. Remember, we talked about men want peace. So if you got a woman that's always aggressive, right, the likelihood that you're going to have a hard conversation with her is probably not going to happen. You're probably going to avoid her. I don't know. That's my example.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, I've been in a relationship where it was like that, where I was just like, I'm not even going to waste my time saying anything because I know what the outcome is going to be. So I'm just going to
And how long do people stay in relationships like that, and then eventually they end?
Not long at all.
Right, they eventually end, but for a minute you're kind of trying to navigate it.
Yeah, and that's poor communication. So you're not really communicating. Yep. You know what I'm saying? If you're being passive about it, like say what you need to say, especially at the ages we are at. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Who got time to be wasted?
Exactly. But if that were true, we wouldn't still be. I mean, I'll speak for me.
Most of us are in the fourth quarter.
I'm still single because
people deny it.
I'm still single because communication is an issue.
Right.
It still is at these big ages. Like it is. For whatever the person's reasons are, it is. And that's why I think communication styles are so important. If you recognize you're dealing with a passive aggressive potential partner.
I'd be damned if I go out with somebody I like and we don't have a conversation about it.
About what?
About what we doing. I mean, the first date might be, all right, let's just talk. We just having fun. And, you know, I'm experiencing her. She's experienced me. We having a conversation. And if I'm liking this person, at some point, I'm going to communicate that to him. And I'm going to know it anyways during the date.
Okay.
That's just
what
me.
Are we communicating, though? That's the question here. Because I said we're all communicating, but what are we saying? And how are we saying it is the question.
Well, again, at this stage, it's important, no matter who you're dating, you need to know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. Right. So you like the person. What are you saying?
Because time can go by, right? Let's just say
we just banging.
Let's just say, Steve, right? You take.
Y'all are running a race from this question. So you like her.
Let's just say you
date one.
You take a woman.
What are you saying?
You take a woman out to dinner 6 times, right?
Yeah.
You're really feeling her, but you're not communicating that to her. Then all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, you know, it was nice being friends. Whatever. I met this new guy," and she goes off with him. Now you're gonna be pissed off because you're like, I just spent.
What guy's gonna date a woman 6 times?
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying what. I'm not saying that a person's gonna do that.
Oh.
I'm just reflecting on Steve saying him communicating within that period of dating that he has an interest in that woman. Yeah. I know. I'm not going out on 6 dates for dinner and not communicating whether or not I like you or not.
Just to be going out.
Yeah.
So this goes back to what we said earlier, right? And what the guy said to me, you know what this is, right? And I think for a lot of relationships, you do go off of, we've been going out, it's been good energy, we're kissing, maybe we've had sex. It feels like everything's going in the right direction. So it would make sense that this would continue and this would manifest into something more serious. That's not always the case. So then when you say that, you know, I've already told you I like you when I took you on the first date, I would think, right? We approached each other. You're like, wow, you're a really beautiful lady. You know, I like to take you out. Isn't that the establishment that you like me from that moment?
Steve?
Right? Wouldn't that, I mean, that would be, what is that not direct communication?
I mean,
you're beautiful. I love to take you out to dinner and get to know you better. That's how it starts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Yeah.
So I would know as a woman, right? Because we don't need to make this difficult. I met a guy, would call Tari and be like, Tari, oh, I met a cutie. Oh, I gave him my number. He wants to take me on a date. She gonna be like, well, what do you think? Did you think he was cute? Do you like him back? Yeah, girl, he was cute. He had nice teeth, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna do that. I'm excited about going on this date. So if he texts me the next day, good morning, beautiful. I'm looking forward to taking you out. What did you like to eat? And we're doing all of that. We're leading up to the date. All of this means an establishment of liking each other. We go on the date. The date goes well. He goes in for a kiss. We not only kiss, we kiss 2-3 times. It's a real passionate kiss. Okay, right. Okay, some sexual attractions here too. There's nothing to be disguised here yet.
Based on everything you just said, right? Sorry, fellas, I'm not dropping a dime on that like that. I'm just saying, right? Based on everything you just said, that man wants some. He just wants some.
He just wants some.
Yeah. And I say that because I don't go out on a date and just immediately, let me kiss her in the you know.
So on a first date, you don't kiss the woman.
I might maybe on the cheek. You know,
this is good. This is good.
Or I would just give her a hug goodbye.
Okay,
like,
so no kissing on the first date.
No.
because that's establishing that he just wants to smash. That's what y'all are saying.
Because this is the thing.
If he kissing her like that, and she kissing him back in the lips, hell yeah, he want to smash.
Yeah,
but is that a bad thing?
For the woman, it is.
It is.
If you ain't, if you ain't asking those questions, again, you setting yourself up to be hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, he likes me. Oh, he kissed me. I love him.
Well, I didn't say love.
And then you give him some.
But
and then you want to ask all those other questions. So he ain't with that.
So here we go back to how the communication gets awry. If we're talking about attraction, we're talking about establishing from the get-go whether or not there's interest and you like the person. A woman or a man also going with the flow, the energy, the spark, and everything else. The kiss happened organically. Now the woman is to assume because there was a natural energy and a natural organic kiss that this man now is a red flag and he just wants to smash.
And she loves the way he kissed.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because
because I know
this is interesting.
Because I know for me, it's like I can't speak for every other man out there, but if I'm really interested in a woman,
what y'all think in the chat?
I'm not gonna really be trying to force the kissing you thing, having sex with you the first day, the first week, none of that. If I really genuinely like you, then hey, I want to take my time with you to get to know you better and all those different things that come along with dating. But if it's like, oh, I want to kiss you today and we're out in the parking lot tongue kissing right after going to a restaurant, 9 times out of 10, that the man that's doing that, he's looking to smash quick.
That's happened to me.
Now, if she leads you on to that,
then it's different.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
But the man's he's gonna smash it if she's leading him like that. Yeah, he gonna go for it.
Yeah, because then
he gonna go for it.
Then in his mind, he's like, "Oh yeah, she's feeling me. Okay, she's easy."
Goes back to this is not a conversation, though, guys.
Yep.
This is all in y'all's heads. Y'all realize this? Not one of y'all, nobody is having a conversation. This was all assumptions y'all all just did. No one said or talked to each other. You just jumped and said, if that's what happened, that's what the man's trying to do. No one opened up dialogue about it. None of y'all said have a conversation and give the man an opportunity or discuss what happened. Everybody just immediately, well, not everybody, said that that's what his intentions were.
Yeah.
There was no conversation. You just said make that assumption, but we just said don't assume, have a conversation.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But we're talking about what happened in kind of like an instance. It was almost like an instance. You didn't have the conversation.
But instead of jumping to conclusions, aren't we supposed to have the conversation? Hey, I wasn't expecting that kiss. I know it just all happened. Are we supposed to immediately throw each other in boxes like that?
Hey, listen, you can ignore the signs if you want.
I mean, that's usually how it happens.
So what I'm getting at is
without the conversation.
So here's what I'm getting at. What y'all just established is why there's an issue, though. We just all assumed and put everything in a box. We didn't have a conversation or give each other the benefit of the doubt.
So I want to say, what do you do when someone?
What was that? No, wait, y'all all got quiet. All EJ gonna do is give me a thumbs up. But why y'all all quiet? We said we need to have conversation. Don't get quiet now.
I think I missed what. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something.
Y'all know what you missed was.
So let's back
here's
up.
What you missed. You're talking to a therapist.
Well, I didn't miss that. I know I'm talking.
We're trying to get to the bottom of why things go awry and why people feel the way they feel in these relationships and why things are sideways. And what we just established is that most of us are in our head with assumptions and we are not having conversations with each other.
You know, okay, we're talking about two different things. We're talking about us having a conversation in the studio and we're talking about something that actually happened on a date.
Correct. But if that happened on a date, what we're saying is we should be having a conversation.
Yeah, but most people don't.
And we're saying, and in that moment, instead of saying, well, based on what I heard on the R&B Talks, you just want to have sex with me because you are grabbing and kissing on me. And I'm out. Deuces, you are a red flag and you're a loser.
No, it doesn't mean it's a red flag. But you, the person on the other end, you got to ask the questions.
And all I'm saying is what that just establishes that a lot of us are in our heads. We don't know what that man's thinking. He might really just like this woman. He may not even have had any plans on kissing her like that.
But if
I'm just trying to be fair, right? He may have had no plans that it was going to even go like that. This might be a woman that he is excited to meet, like a coach, right? Got her stuff together and never would have imagined that she would even have kissed him.
But if you don't ask the questions, you get left in the dark.
And I think we'll stop. Get out of your head, people.
And that's the problem.
Get out of your head. Have the conversation.
Coach Goose.
Yeah, I agree with you. Coach.
Have the conversation. Don't just assume. Steve, me and you go out on a date. You got all these rules. I got all these rules. You just said be vulnerable. Let your guard down.
I ain't got no rules.
I'm just saying,
right?
Right?
I ain't got no rules.
And we go out and we vibe and we having a good time. Stuff happens. We grown.
There's no drop in the hair.
We're grown. You might be like, listen, I typically don't even do all of this, but you got good. And I'm like, yeah, we got good energy. And we've been having the conversation. I didn't say kissing was off the table. We didn't talk about that part. We feeling each other. We kiss. Kiss leads to a little bit more of a deeper kiss. I didn't say we had sex yet.
I mean, when you first go out, saying, respectfully,
you're saying that if that were to happen, that all you want the person for is sex. And I'm saying that's not necessarily true.
Well, as a man, because I am a man, and I think
you said that you really like the lady, though.
I can't speak for E, but I think most men, we want it. We want it, right?
And I think that's okay.
There's a difference between wanting it from a person that we like or wanting it just from a person that we like, but not like that.
Yeah.
There's different levels.
So and this goes back to Wanda's point about men sizing women up. And you said earlier, Steve, women seem to have a hard time vetting out men's intentions. And this is why.
I agree.
You just gave the reasons why we have a hard time vetting out your intentions. We start off, you like me, you take me out, you're interested in me. Somehow we end up kissing and now it goes somewhere else. The conversation is had. You don't say, well, now that you kiss me like that, I didn't put you in the smash category. And yeah, originally I thought we could be something, but yeah, that was the wrong move you just made. So all I see you as is somebody to have sex with now. Who's saying that?
Listen,
I mean, no one's ever going to tell you that.
Listen,
who's saying that?
Listen,
nobody is.
No, but we go back to communication. Yeah. Who is going to be direct and honest enough with each other to say what it is that's the turn off and or taking the relationship off the table? Are we being honest with each other like that?
Well, I can
probably not.
I can say that for me, that has actually happened. I went out on a date and then he wanted a kiss. I gave him a kiss. He wanted another.
Juicy?
Not gonna tell. Gave me another kiss.
In the lips or on the cheek?
Jeez, it was the lips.
Okay.
And so he wanted constantly pulling my head. Want another kiss, another kiss, another
peck
kiss,
or a tongue kiss.
It ended up being a tongue kiss.
Okay, but it did start off as a peck.
Yeah,
you know, like.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted. Actually, that's what I wanted to give him.
This was the first date?
No, this was the second date.
Restaurant?
Restaurant? No, restaurant. And so, but it's someone from my past. It's not a brand.
So now there's history. Yeah. See, there's always more details. Somebody from your history doing that is not the same as a stranger.
Right.
That means he might have been crushing on you for years.
He. That's
he just
true.
Never said nothing.
So
that's
now
true.
he got
shot. Or you was just in a situation where he couldn't approach.
Right.
You.
So,
but at the end, I felt like he just wanted sex because he kept asking me questions about how I am, sexually, and I would ask him the question, "What am I, piece of meat? Like you just want sex?" Or blah blah blah, and he's like, "No," but he's curious. He wants to know. He would like to have sex with me, but because of my morals, I'm like, no, absolutely.
And I've had some guys say at these big ages that we're at, stop holding and making these men wait out on sex? What are we holding it for?
Well, why do we need to have sex with the men? And why do men feel like they need to have sex like right away?
Because they're men. That's what I got.
Men are men. We always want sex. We do. We do. We always want sex. But, I'm at a point in my life, like, listen, that ain't the all be all. You got to have those other qualities. I'm looking for other qualities besides sex because I think sex is easy.
I agree.
It's not hard.
Right now, I feel like sex is not easy because people are turning me off real quick. So I can't shut that off and just be.
Well, it's easy for me.
I think Steve is saying that it's easy for the men because there's so many women out here that would just give it up. But for us as women, it's not easy for certain women because you have your standards and your expectations. I know I have mine.
And that's when you don't have that. They tell you you're acting like a man.
I feel like women ignore a lot of the red flags.
But why is it a red flag if a woman is like just wants to have sex like you?
That's not a red flag. If you just want to have sex like that, then
why is that not a red flag?
No, that's okay. If that's what you want.
Yep. but in reality, though, it is a red flag. Men categorize a woman like that.
Is a red flag for you?
No, men categorize women like that.
What?
But I mean,
not relationship material.
But it could be
she's only good for a good time.
No, I disagree.
It could be a situation where that's all the man wants from you. He might not want to be in a relationship. You might be someone that he's liked for a very long time, and now he's got his opportunity to have sex with you, and he's good with that.
So that takes us back to relationship material.
No,
they're not verbal either. They're not verbal.
Surprisingly enough, you may not even intend on having a relationship with that person, but it can develop into one easily from that point on.
But is that not how all of these problems be starting? We just said a man that's doing that on the first time, all he wants is sex.
Yeah.
So women that go down that route, if she's not really a woman that's all she wanted, she's setting herself up. But then we also say it's a possibility that could manifest into something.
Listen, you see
all this confusion.
You have to be able to break things down. I think we're all smart enough. We're all old enough.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot in our lives.
The relationship experience,
where we can go grocery shopping and we know that the fruit goes over here and the vegetables go.
But then, if that's the case, Steve, then we wouldn't be doing these shows. People clearly are struggling out here in these streets.
Yeah,
people are struggling, but I think again, we've said a lot. We've given a lot of answers to the test.
Right.
Like, you do got to vet. You got the biggest thing. Okay, the number one thing for me, communication.
But
communication. A lot of people don't communicate. That too.
Right. Because we are all communicating, and right now we're all saying different things. And I think what come out of this is validation and still that there's a lot of confusion in these streets.
Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of people communicate, they talk, but we've had this conversation before. People don't listen. People talk, but they're not hearing.
Here we
they're
go.
Not, like you just said, comprehension. You said it.
Yep.
And when you hear that, though, this goes back to you said earlier to me, Coach, you got to loosen up and let your guard down, right?
Let your hair down.
Right? I do not, and I will not do what you're telling me to do, Steve, because therefore, guess what? I will be that chick in the parking lot getting tongued down and miss the red flag because I let my hair down and I got comfortable, right? I will keep the standards that I have and my boundaries for myself. Therefore, if I decide that I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, brother man, where my camera at? No, it's because I wanted to, not because you manipulated me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's a comment in here.
I think people get in their own heads too, man.
Yeah,
that part.
Take your head out the gutter.
No, I don't think it's a gutter because you just said there's some standard things that we have to be aware of. Whether we like them or not, men want sex, and women are the holders of the sex. We want relationships, and men are the holders of the relationships. And because of this, there will always be an imbalance if you do not not only communicate, but comprehend. You have to look at all of these experiences as opportunities to see who you are and to grow. Don't let them shut you down. Don't let them make you scared. Just learn. And I think we would all be better people if we didn't get harmed and hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I'm so scared of getting hurt. We get hurt all the time. It's part of being human. Stop avoiding difficult conversations because you're afraid the person won't like you. Stop being afraid of being hurt. This is what makes people have mass up in the first place. Is because you just need to be you. People are afraid to be who they are. If you just like sex, so what if they're going to call you a slut and a hoe? Guess what? There's a lot of women out here that do what they do. Society is going to have those labels. You can't change that. And then there's other people that don't feel that way. You got to understand it's two sides of every coin.
Maybe it's just me. I feel like relationships really, although they are difficult, they're really not that difficult if you just follow the path you should follow, and people don't follow that path. People, the number one people don't.
What's the path?
But that's what I'm saying. What's
There's
the
no
path?
path.
The number one thing people don't do is, we talked about it, communicate.
But even in communication, the map that I have might take me to Africa. The map you have is taking you to Australia. We're not going the same direction.
So
but
then,
we both have a map.
So if you're out on the road and you're lost, you're not going to ask somebody if you're going the right way?
Yes, and we're doing that right now.
That's communication.
We're asking right now.
So,
and you can start telling me your directions, and it's taking me to Australia, not to Africa.
But you want to go to Africa.
And I'm asking you.
So ask for the directions to Africa, and then let's go to Africa.
And then you're going to be like, I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have that map. My map is for Australia. I can't help you. And that's what it feels like sometimes, is that we just are not in the same space about what it is we want. And Wanda said it best. Shout out to Wanda. What do you want?
Yeah.
And men don't know. Some men, correction. Some men don't know what they want. Some people in general don't know who they are.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah.
So to communicate, you have to know who you are and know what you want.
Right.
And the majority of people, as a therapist, I'm telling you, are lost.
No, I agree. I think a lot of folks are lost out there. But again, I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I
feel like if you don't know who you are and you don't know how to communicate, you shouldn't be dating anybody, anyways. Mm-hmm. Like those are two major components.
And now we go back to mental health
that you truly need to work on before you start dating someone.
Right, but we go to mental health. I have a nephew who's autistic. Some people may know him. There's a lot of stuff he do not get, and he is struggling to know himself. But one thing he does know, he likes girls. He knows that he likes girls, and that's what he knows. Mm-hmm. And navigating this, trying to give him common sense about that is challenging. And that's a extreme case. But there are a lot of people walking around here with emotional deficits, intellectual deficits that are going to still get in relationships. They may not they look fine on the exterior, but they're not okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, again,
I think a lot of that comes from like past experiences that they've had in relationships, because like you mentioned earlier, going from one relationship to the next and not doing the work on themselves and not taking a look in the mirror, looking at something that they might have done in the relationship that didn't work, that caused it not to work out. There's a lot of people that do that, and that's what puts them in a position with the next person, and that person has to carry all that baggage that they're bringing along from that previous relationship, because they just haven't done the self-work and worked on themselves and not established what they do and do not want in a relationship.
That's fair.
So they repeat that same behavior from the past.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, as I get older, I take a look at myself in the mirror like, okay, what could I have done different to make this or that relationship last longer? Or what did the person do to me in the last relationship that I refuse to deal with in the next relationship?
Yeah.
So I'm preparing myself for the next person so I don't bring that baggage along with me. Because that's something I don't think that's fair to do to anyone, whether male or female.
I just think we're too focused a lot on being in relationships in the first place. I think society has it where everybody needs to have somebody and be in a relationship. That's such a focal point and a goal that if you don't have that, people feel like something's missing or there's some kind of deficit or something's wrong with them or they're not enough. And I say that as I'm working with like young people and just the natural osmosis to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like they don't know themselves yet, but they all are like naturally attracted to do that. Even if you don't tell them to do it or not do it, they do it. So I just think it's part of just our animal instincts to do that. It doesn't mean that we have the cognitive skill sets to navigate it, but we're going to naturally be connected to want to engage in relationship and sex.
Right.
That's why I do agree with that part about it being natural. And I think when you say it comes easy, I think it's because it's just a natural thing for that to happen. As you get older, you realize you need to control that. You get skills, you pause, and everything's not driven by your lust and your desire and this thing that you just need to have a partner. You start to realize it's a little bit more complicated than just get a partner and everything's going to just be great. And I think that's what makes relationships challenging is as you realize you do need to be concerned about the other person. You do need to compromise. You do need to take accountability. You need to be able to apologize. You are not perfect and nor will they be.
Right.
That's the piece that makes people get disappointed and hurt because you think you're going to marry this person, but you don't listen to the vows. The vows tell you if you listen to it, that there's going to be problems and they're not going to be perfect.
Oh, no doubt. How many times have you heard, I'm not saying that part. What was it the part?
Deaf to his part?
Obey.
No, it's obey.
Obey.
But obey is not in the Bible. That is not of God's words.
So then why do they vows? So why do they say that at weddings?
Yeah, it's in the vows. And that goes to social constructs. Who wrote the vows and why do we repeat them? Did anybody ever ask, or do you just go, I need to be married? Why?
And how many people have been married where their bride did not say that and they're still married or don't have issues?
That's a good point. And why is it about obey in the first place, right? Why is that even in there? If you go back, society, women were property.
I tell you what they should put in there.
Women were property, though.
You always.
But y'all do realize
he already know what I'm gonna say.
Y'all do realize that women were property. You were property. That's why we were obeying. You were property. When a man took on a wife, you were his. It was ownership.
They need to have.
So we don't
till
go
death
back.
do us part, and you bring him peace.
But that's what the obey part was. Steve, the obey part is the peace. Y'all don't realize that? The obey part is the peace. If you obey, you're not talking back. You're doing what the man tells you to do. That's his peace.
But everybody talks back though.
Yeah, but that's not in the Bible.
But the reality of it is we progress.
But I think a lot of times,
but we're not traditional anymore.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when me and Steve talk about peace, it's not that we're saying like the woman needs to do whatever we tell them to do. Like that's like having a pet dog and saying, "Listen, go over there and lay down or sit."
We don't
whatever.
want robots. We're not looking for robots.
That's not what we say when we talk about peace.
Roof.
So I think a lot of times when we use that word, it gets a little bit misconstrued. Like, oh, like, well, why is it always about peace? Like, I'm not gonna be doing what the man tells me to do.
So what is peace then?
So for me,
I'm so tired of this word.
That's what I was going to bring up. You said it was a trend.
It is. It's a trend like self-care.
No. So this is what. So for me, peace looks like if I had a bad day at work, I come home, I have a look of frustration on my face, and let's say I'm married or I have a fiance or girlfriend that I'm living with, whatever. And they're like, honey, you look so upset. Well, I had a bad day at work. And then she says, okay, what happened? Oh, I don't want to talk about it right now. But then she keeps saying, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. Let's talk about it right now. I might not want to unpack that right then and there at that moment. I might want to just go to the room, decompress for a few, grab something to eat, and then I decide when I want to have that conversation. So that's a small piece of not bringing me peace, because if you're like, I don't really want to use the word nag, but you're trying to pull something out of me that I don't want to discuss in that moment. Because what I've noticed a lot is I see so many guys at liquor stores just hanging out in the parking lot, talking to their friends, spending time after work, hours upon hours. And most of those guys always say, oh, I hang out here because I don't have any peace at home. I don't want to go home right now and deal with my wife or my fiance or my girlfriend. So a lot of guys spend a lot of time in parking lots for that very reason.
And if it's a trend, I started it.
I just
I started it.
it's troubling to me to hear that if people are doing what you guys are saying, right? You pick your partner. I'm assuming because you were attracted, you like them. At some point, at least what I've learned, you were communicating, because like you said, commitment comes with being able to come and talk to you about my problems and different things. That sounds like that's what men use as their initial measuring of metrics to pick a wife, to pick a partner, as somebody that they can talk to, connect with, they're attracted to. So to me, when I hear that, something has gone awry, right? Something has gone awry in that relationship. And I think it stems back to what we all have said, is being in your head and not communicating with your partner and not knowing how to navigate the difficult times. Instead, people shut down, they get in their heads, they don't comprehend. And that is what we call a relationship sever, right? When you have these moments that the relationship ruptures and nobody really does the work to repair, it only gets worse.
Well, I think that I don't think peace is a trend. I think it's a reality with men, of course, more so than women. I think women don't want to hear it because a lot of women still don't really get and understand why men say that. And it's very simple. Don't lower my stress levels. I mean, don't bring up my stress levels, bring them down. Anything that you do to bring up my stress is a disturbance of my peace. And so now I'm not talking about, because a lot of women will say, well, in order to get peace, you got to bring peace. I mean, no, because number one, if your peace is being disturbed by that man, then you probably made a bad choice in the beginning.
Possibly.
Right? You probably made a bad choice of a man. So that's something
it goes both ways.
We're not talking about that.
Or the man, or there are still some men, and I said this offline. You told me to make sure I said it when we did the show. I say it's a trend because some men, not all men, are using that as a buffer to not have to do the work and not have to have the conversations with their significant others.
And that's something totally different.
Right. Yeah. But I think when women are talking about it, they're not talking about the emotionally intelligent man who has set a boundary with his wife and who can communicate and knows how to navigate it. I don't think we're talking about those relationships. We're talking about that other large majority of relationships that are lacking. And the man is saying peace, and that is looking like he's not allowing her to have a say. So he is potentially emotionally or physically abusive. And I think just for the sake of conversation, I think that's what a lot of women, when they get up in arms and they cringe, they're not talking about this. We're not talking about the same thing. Remember, I talk about remember I said comprehension. You're talking about two different types of things, and that's why we keep clashing. Because yes, everybody wants peace, but when a woman hears it, that is a sign that she's probably been with a guy who's been manipulative and used that term peace in a destructive way, not in the way that you guys are saying.
Right, because I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real peace.
Yeah.
And fellas know what we're talking about here. We're not.
What is real peace?
But what I'm saying is, Steve, for fellas though, I think most men that I've met have men who are womanizers, not kind to their women, that say the same thing y'all are saying. And I think women are asking how to navigate that. And once you get yourself caught up into it,
that's a different type of guy that you chose and that you're with. You're not happy with that person for many reasons. He's disturbing your peace.
Yeah, right. And I think women just need y'all to validate that a little bit though, that
we're doing that, but we're doing that by saying we're not talking about them.
Yeah.
We're talking about legitimate. We're talking about a good man. You got you a good man. There's a lot of women out here that have good men.
Okay.
And there's a lot of women that, and somebody please call up if you're listening, 617-238-7111, right? If you have a good man, you know automatically if you want to disturb his peace, you could disturb his peace. You know what gets under his skin, right? Anything that gets under a man's skin, that's disturbing his peace. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
For the most part. We're not talking about a guy who's out here slinging and doing his thing out here and then disturbing. We're not talking about that person. We're talking about there's plenty of good cats out here, right? Good brothers. And it goes vice versa for the woman too, where their peace is disturbed. But what we're talking about, I'm talking about stress levels. Now you said it, I'm gonna bring this up, Sataris.
Mm-hmm.
You said this when you first started on air here. You said that when I brought a piece before, you said he said that to you.
Yeah.
And you asked me what you didn't know what it meant. And I told you what it meant. Do you understand what it means now? What he was saying?
Yeah, but there's a cause and effect.
Yeah, okay.
He
so let me say
disturbed
this.
his own peace.
Okay, see, this is what I'm gonna say with that, right? I think
and that goes back to my point.
Oh no, you said it. You said it last week, I think, when we had Dane in them on, or was it the week before? No, it was the week before. You said, so what do we got to do? Suck it up, Steve? Yeah, you got to suck it up.
But that goes back to my point, though, Steve. And this is why we're kind of going in circles, right? The women that are bringing up this issue are women that are dealing with men that are doing things that are destructive to their relationship, and then saying, you're disrupting my peace. Why don't you just let that go? That happened in the past. You're saying you're not talking about those situations, but then you're also saying in the next breath that she just needs to suck it up.
Yeah.
In terms of the man's bad behavior.
Right.
So if we were not talking to her, then we shouldn't say suck it up, because you're not even talking about her situation. That's extreme.
Okay.
Let
me say it in another way.
And I'm going to give an example after you say what you say.
Even when he's wrong, he's right.
What? Steve, you're not right. You're not right, Steve.
Hello, Urban Heat. We got somebody on the line. Who's this?
Hi, good afternoon. I love the conversation that you guys are having today. And I agree with all of you. And as Coach Law said, there is a disconnect when it comes from what the perception is when a man says they want peace. I agree. But for the most part, it's being utilized in the wrong way. Being that you guys most so generalize, you hear it more often, it's become a fad to say you want peace, right? Mm-hmm. I think the most important thing between that relationship with the couple is whether or not they have a healthy conversation, and have they created that within their relationship where you would find that peace. Because when that man who's accustomed to having that peace, his woman's going to know, okay, he's having a bad day, I know how to deal with him. Mm-hmm. But we have that healthy conversation. It doesn't need to be an argument. It doesn't need to develop into an argument. You can say, baby, I'm just having a rough time. Okay, I can respect that and come back. It's all a part of what you create within your relationship. And I think for most men, they're starting to use that as like a cop-out, right? To having those difficult conversations.
And I can agree with that.
Thank you. That's all I was trying to say.
Not my peace. All I want is peace. And we have to be careful with that because of the way that it's being utilized. The goal is to have a healthy relationship. And the communication, yes, is the most important thing. So men need to realize she may not be coming at me, to argue or to nag, as you guys would say, but more to just to develop and reconnect in some other way so we can form a healthy communication about that relationship. That's all.
Okay. And what's your name? Where you calling from, by the way?
Christina from Roxbury.
Okay. Thanks for your call. We appreciate that input.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I totally agree with her. I think she's right. I can agree. It has become a trend. Of course, we're not talking about that. We're not trending with that. We're just talking about in actuality. And before I picked up the phone, I said, we're right even when we're wrong. What I mean by that is I think a good woman even if the guy is wrong, kind of alluding to what she said as well. Okay, he's having a bad day. Let me just soften him up a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Even though he's wrong, boom, boom, boom. That, you doing that, comforting him, is actually bringing peace to the point where you can have that conversation.
But Steve, can I just ask, in that example that everybody gave, the man isn't doing anything wrong. He had a bad day at work. He comes in, he looks frustrated, and all he says is, I need a minute. I don't want to talk about it right now. That he hasn't done anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think the language here is like, he's right even when he's wrong. Well, what is he wrong about? It's different if you were like, listen, we haven't spent any quality time together. It's been weeks. We were supposed to, hang out. And he's like, yeah. But he still wants sex every night. Right. And she's saying, I get it. I want to give you sex every night, but I also need the quality time. I love when we go on walks and we do this. Right. Every time we've had a planned date night, you've canceled it. Mm-hmm. And what I'm trying to communicate is that even in healthy relationships, there's going to be conflict. There's going to be disagreement. If you as a woman come to your man, even with your softest softness, to have these things, mm-hmm. and he's like, I had a bad day at work. I don't want to talk about this. You always bringing up something when I'm stressed out. And she goes, okay, baby, no problem. We can talk about it later. Right. And she tables it.
Right. And then the man never. On top of that, she can go, you know what? Here's a Heineken or Corona, whatever he drinks.
Right.
Nice little meal. Kiss him on the cheek.
But
and
guess what?
That would soften me up right there.
But most good women are doing a lot of these things. And good men can still struggle with stress, coping strategies, and when more things get put on their plate, even something as simple as we're not spending enough quality time, she's supposed to be like, suck it up. Mm-hmm. He's having a bad time. My need doesn't need to get met right now. Don't bring it up no more because he's not good. And what I'm trying to say is, let's not just brush it over and sweep it under the rug, because even in the most healthy relationships, couples are struggling with really simple things like this.
Yeah. But she said again, I'll go back. She said that he said all he wanted was peace. She didn't know what that was or what he meant by that. So I think had she known, she would have been able to bring him that peace.
No, I couldn't bring him that peace because there was a cause and effect, period. So he wanted peace, but he wasn't doing what he needed to do so he can receive the peace.
Right. And that's when the relationship becomes unhealthy.
And then at that point it's over, because if you cannot bring a man's peace, I promise you it ain't gonna last.
But
it's just not gonna last. Fairness, it's a matter of time.
A man who has disrupted his relationship, cheating, neglect,
yes, thank you,
done any harm to it, that comes and then says he wants peace, is delusional.
Well, I mean,
that's a different situation.
And then the communication isn't there either.
That right there is a totally different situation, because if the man is doing all of that and his woman knows that he's doing all of that, he's never going to have peace. Because that woman's always going to be thinking like, okay,
correct.
He said he was going out to go hang with the fellas. What is he really doing? The last time he told me that, he was out with this woman hanging out with her. So then when he comes home, now she's just like, yo, where you been?
Yes.
Now all the questions come, right?
Exactly. But when you're married, people have to figure out how to navigate these ruptures in their relationship. And sometimes it's not just simply, I'm going to get a divorce. They try to fix it. They try to work through it. And so you want to have peace without going through the storm, without dealing with what's happened.
Yeah, but what when we talk about peace, it's like in that scenario with the man, cheating on his wife, his girlfriend, fiance, whatever, he has to be able to put himself in a position where he creates his own peace within that relationship as well. So it's not just the peace coming from the woman. He has to be able to create his own peace, because if he's keeping things disrupted within the relationship, he's never going to have peace.
That's right.
Right.
Because he hasn't done the work to create peace for himself.
Thank
That's right.
you.
And
I
to
said
cut-
that
not
before.
to cut you guys off.
You
I'm
gotta
sorry.
have peace within yourself.
Because we are running out of time.
Oh gosh, this was juicy.
And I want to give away that ticket you have for Serendipity A La Mode before we get out of here. So Serendipity A La Mode is this Saturday, folks.
Oh, I got it.
You can go to serendipityalaMode.com for more information, or you could text 617-600-8642, 617-600-8642. You can text for more information if you're looking for tickets or if you just need some more details on the event. So, Tari, you got the tickets. How do you want to get these tickets away? Or ticket, I should say.
So, since we're out of time, what I say is go to my Facebook page, send me a message, share your story with me, and I would choose a person according to their story.
Dating?
So these tickets are compliments of
not about
you.
Dating, just any storms that you may have gone through. Share that with me, and then I'll select.
And give them your page, your Facebook page.
My
for those who don't know.
My Facebook page is Sataurus Henry, and that's SUTAURUS Henry HENRY.
And she's single too. And she gonna be at Serendipity for you single fellas. And Coach La's single too. And she gonna be at Serendipity this Saturday, y'all. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm just looking forward to having fun, to be honest.
Yep.
This will be like my first time out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm looking forward to the outfits.
I mean,
me
it's
too.
definitely a great
Me
event.
too.
I mean, I can't say enough about it. They definitely did their thing with that event.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm curious on who the special guests are. He said plural, so it sounds like
it's more than one.
Sounds like it's going to be more than one. So I'm looking forward to that, and I know it's going to be somebody big. I just oh man, and usually it's for the ladies. So ladies, listen, I don't know who the artist is or who the actor or actor. I don't know who it is. Period. But I just know it's going to be good. Serendipity A La Mode this Saturday in Canton. Get your tickets.
Yes.
Go to serendipityalaMode.com or 617-600-8642. We still got like 5 minutes, y'all. I don't know if y'all want to any final words before we get out of here. We'll start with you, Coach.
Just, cliche, but love yourself, man. Love yourself. Know what you want. And
stop playing with Coach. Stop playing with Coach.
Look at this whole experience in life as an opportunity to learn and grow, right? Like don't take everything so seriously. Like I do say lighten up and have fun with it.
Oh, that's what.
And as I always say, bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. And that is, the more you do that, the better partner you'll be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that.
So, Taurus?
I'll just say, like what Coach Law said, be true to yourself and have your expectations, stand firm on your morals, and don't allow your situation to turn you into something that you're not.
I love that.
EJ?
I would just say, for anyone that's out there that's been in a past relationship, just learn from any past relationship that you've ever been in that did not go the way that you wanted it to. Do the work on yourself. Just set those boundaries in the next relationship. Learn to communicate. Stay true to yourself. Respect your partner. And be willing to take accountability and be with someone who's willing to do the same and reciprocate.
Yes.
And I'm going to just say, I feel like relationships really aren't hard. I think we make them harder than they should be. Communication is the most important aspect of any relationship. If you don't talk about it, you're going to find out in another way. So have that conversation, and also just make sure that you are ready and you are the best version of yourself.
Oh, I like
just
that.
make sure that you're ready. Whether, I don't know if it's one of them situations where you got to get ready mentally, whether you got to get in the gym, whatever it is, make sure that you're ready so that when you get in that relationship that you can just be you and sit back and chill and communicate, have a good relationship. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it. So Serendipity A La Mode this weekend. I can't wait. And
we hope to see everyone there.
Yeah, hope to see y'all there.
And don't forget to send me send me a message on Facebook for that ticket. We really want to give that ticket to someone who is deserving.
Right.
That event's gonna be off the chain. I'm telling you right now, because it was great last year, and
it's gonna be better this year.
Yeah, because Dame said they stepped it up a little bit more. So
yeah, they even have a ride.
Yeah,
you know, to get people.
Yeah.
You can get a ride to the spot instead of walking over the bridge. They got something for you for all those who need the ride. You know,
that's dope.
Isn't that?
Yeah, I took a lift last time, so it dropped me right off around the back. So I didn't have.
I think I'm gonna get on that ride. I got a fractured ankle.
Yeah.
All right, we out, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace out.
Bye.
Serendipity A La Mode. Let's go.
Before it get good, it's gonna get worse. Good thing I know how to break that curse, 'cause I'm a witch. Doctor, no Tabitha, Samantha, witch. Doctor, no Tabitha, no Samantha, 'cause a witch is just a medium, and a medium like the media. What they feeding ya, that's witchcraft. You believe it, 'cause you need it, and they bank on it, and rank on it. If you eat it up, what they feeding ya, that's witchcraft.
Where the ladies at, yeah. Where the ladies at, yeah. Where the ladies at, where the ladies at, where the ladies at, check it out. Where the ladies at, where the ladies at, where the ladies at, yeah. Where the ladies